We crossed a line that should have never been crossed when the government sent stimulus payments directly to the American people. Even many Republicans that supported the measure acknowledged that what they were doing was pure socialism, but they defended the payments by insisting that we were in the middle of a major national emergency. At the time, I warned that once the government started issuing such checks, the American people would always keep demanding more. When it was announced that the latest round of stimulus payments would only be $600 per person, angry activists vandalized Nancy Pelosi's and Mitch McConnell's house out of pure outrage in the size of the stimulus. In both cases, the vandals made it exceedingly clear that they wanted more government money. Sadly, it wasn't just a handful of activists that went ballistic. Literally millions of enraged Americans posted angry messages on social media that expressed how insulting the $600 figure was. But prior to the great financial crisis, the U.S. government had never sent out universal basic income style checks in the entire history of our country. So you would think that most people should be grateful for an extra $600, but instead there was a tremendous amount of rage. President Trump wanted the payments raised to $2,000, and many Democrats did as well. But Republicans still had control of the Senate, and Mitch McConnell initially blocked that effort. But now Democrats will shortly have control of the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, and one of the first things they plan to do is to deliver the remaining half of the initial down payment in the form of $1,400. As the voices get angrier and angrier, do you think that anyone in Washington will be willing to stand up and say no? The incoming Vice President, Kamala Harris, previously proposed giving out monthly $2,000 checks for the duration of this pandemic. If you are married with 3 kids, you would have gotten $10,000 every month under her plan. Considering where we are as a society today, I think that most Americans would have been very eager to sign up for that. Of course, the price tag for such a plan would be nightmarish. It would have been approximately $600 billion every month. And that would mean that it would add more than $7 trillion to our national debt over the course of an entire year. But since we are liquidating the republic anyway, who really cares? Harris insisted that her plan would end once the crisis was over. Other politicians, however, are ready to start giving citizens universal basic income checks on a permanent basis starting right now. For example, Andrew Yang is making this the signature promise of his campaign as he runs for mayor of New York City. Yang insists that by giving everyone free money every month he can eradicate poverty in NYC. That sounds good, but who is he going to tax in order to pay for it? After all, hundreds of thousands of wealthy people already left the city during 2020. The truth is that it is a pipe dream, but that pipe dream is going to win him a whole lot of votes. And this comes at a time when tens of millions of Americans are in desperate need because the real economy continues to implode all around us. For example, we just learned that Christopher in Banks has gone belly up. Thousands of businesses have been dying every month. As I've mentioned several times, the U.S. has lost more than 110,000 restaurants alone. And to make sure that most of the businesses that have died can never possibly make a comeback, Joe Biden wants to institute a national minimum wage of $15 an hour. Promising people more money is a great way to win elections. But at the end of the day, someone always has to pay. As the U.S. economy continues to come apart at the seams, finding sources of tax revenue will become increasingly difficult. Perhaps the big tech companies can step up and offer to dramatically enlarge their contributions to the U.S. Treasury. After all, they were quite instrumental in giving control of the federal government to the Democrats. And so you would think they should be quite willing to help pay for their promises. The reality is that more stimulus is on the way in with the soon-to-be-elected Janet Yellen in charge of the Treasury. She has made it clear that she wants to go big when it comes to spending. Within the next few weeks, we will see the restructuring of the Federal Reserve Bank's charter, and it will allow Uncle Sam and the bankers to collaborate in the biggest printing schemes the world has ever seen. The good news is that you already knew this was coming. You have been warned years in advance and know exactly what to do. As my buddy Gregory Mannarino always say, become your own central bank. Formulate your own wealth preservation standard and execute your plan like your financial future depends on it. Well, actually, it does. Thanks for watching this news update. Hit the like button and share this video so your loved ones can hear an alternative voice of reason in these crazy financial times.